tê liễu.
The movie begins in 2008 with Shui discovering Lian, an introverted girl from her school, playing the guitar under a bridge. Over time, their friendship blossoms, and they frequently spend time together. During one of their interactions, Shui asks Lian about her dreams, to which Lian reveals her desire to marry the love of her life within the next 10 years. Next, we see that a girl has hanged herself in her school, and a decade later, in 2018, another girl in a bridal gown tearfully climbs a stool saying she doesn't want to. Despite this, she places a noose around her neck and hangs herself, ultimately ending her life. Now the legend has it that after people committed suicide by hanging themselves, a curse was created on the rope, which grew powerful over time. Along the coastal area of Fujian, China, to break the curse, a ritual would be performed to burn the rope. Nowadays, to divert public fear, it's commonly called the rope ritual. Following this, Kwai shows Goa the news about the bride's tragic event and suggests they go there to film. He mentions that his uncle has spoken about the need for a rope ritual to send her spirit away, emphasizing that no one has ever dared to do a live broadcast of such an event, and he has called an anchor also. When they arrive at the location, the ritual has already commenced. Kwai quickly grabs his camera and begins recording. He explains that they have cut down the tree trunk on which the bride committed suicide and placed it in a linen bag, along with the rope used in the tragic event. Now, as they are transporting the items, a girl secretly observes them, but her father warns her not to look, cautioning that if the ghost sees her, it might come for her. After some time, the cart unexpectedly collides with something, causing the bag to fall. Upon inspection, they discover the bag is torn, so they seal it again and resume their journey back, unknowingly leaving the rope behind. They bring the items to a designated location to complete the ritual. Jiawei's fiancé Shui arrives with the camera batteries and lights that Jiawei had ordered. They dispose of the cursed items in the water, and meanwhile, a girl bumps into Kwai, who quickly departs from the location in a hurry. On the other hand, Shui hears someone calling her, and then we are shown a flashback in which some girls at school are bullying Shui. And as a ghost haunts her, Jiawei tells her that he is done shooting. While Kwai is searching for the anchor, he hears a female laugh, but thinks Yi is trying to scare him. Suddenly, he slips on the rope and falls. Upon picking up the rope, he feels a sense of familiarity and throws it. Now, as he attempts to leave, all the brooms in the street fall on their own, and as he attempts to flee in panic, he bumps into Yi. However, when he looks back, he finds all the brooms standing. He asks her why she is so late, and if she is familiar with the area, to which she replies yes, mentioning that she hasn't returned for a long time. Despite the delay, she insists he should still pay her, but he suggests they find her a place to stay first. Meanwhile, Shui takes Jiawei to her old house, a place she used to visit occasionally. Jiawei shows her the live stream, which has garnered 320,000 viewers compared to his previous 100,000. As they check the comments, viewers mention a white spot. Upon closer inspection, Shui notices a face moving within it, and suddenly, she feels dizzy. On the other hand, Yai is in the washroom, and as she is coming out, she hears her name being called. Later, Shui wakes up seeing a nightmare, and she is startled to find herself at the same spot where she used to meet Lian. She notices a girl sitting there, crying, and Shui starts moving towards her. Meanwhile, Yai hears the same crying coming from inside the wash basin, and suddenly, the door slams shut. At the same time, Kwai throws that rope into the lake, and as he is about to sit in his car, he gets a text from Jiawei, about 320,000 viewers. Here Yi starts a live streaming, and she starts showing her viewers the place where she is staying. Then some people start asking her in the comments, who else is there with her, due to which she gets a little scared and says that she is alone here. She goes to check, and suddenly she hears someone crying from the bathroom, and then blood starts coming out from under the door. Terrified, Yai attempts to run away, but an unseen force knocks her down. Her phone breaks on its own, and a thin rope wraps around her neck. beginning to strangle her. In the struggle, she experiences a blurred vision of a girl standing there. The force then drags her away, lifts her in the air, and hangs her on the ceiling fan, ultimately leading to her demise. The next day, when Master Shi arrives at his shack, he is shocked to find Yi's lifeless body hanging there. When Jiawei arrives later, Kwai informs him that Yi was fine when he left her yesterday, but today she is dead, and his uncle told him that she was actually possessed. Meanwhile, Shui notices bruise marks on her neck. Here, Jiawei informs Kwai that 820,000 viewers watched their video, and this week, they can surely surpass 1.5 million. He suggests that if they film the crime scene tonight, they could potentially garner 15 million views. Later that night, Shui has another dream. In it, she sees the girl once more, sitting in the same position, crying, and singing the song Liang used to sing. As Lian turns her head toward Shui, suddenly, Shui finds herself in Lian's place, and Lian is now standing in her position, but also behind her at the same time, and suddenly she wakes up. Meanwhile, Jiawei and Kwai go to the shack to film the crime scene. Jiawei notices hair on the ceiling fan, suggesting it might be the anchor's hair. He then enters a room and gets terrified upon finding a photo under the bed. While filming the photo, he wonders if it is related to the actual crime scene. Simultaneously, Shui hears Lian singing in her house and realizes the voice is coming from the basement. Back at the shack, Kwai notices blood dripping on him, and when he looks up, he is terrified to see hair hanging from the ceiling. Screaming in fear, he rushes out, and Jiawei attempts to calm him down. The commotion attracts the attention of two police officers who come to investigate. Upon seeing the officers, Kwai and Jiawei quickly flee the scene, managing to escape before they can be caught. In the basement, Shui finds her diary, and she remembers that Lian wanted to marry the love of her life in 10 years, and realizes that it has been 10 years since Lian died. Jiawei and Kwai then return home, and Shui asks them where they went at this hour. Jiawei shows her the photo he found at the shack, and tells her that this is Yi, who committed suicide by hanging yesterday, and beneath her is the bride who hanged herself at the beginning of the movie. It is now revealed that the three girls in the photo were Shui's high school friends, and they used to bully Liang. They read a letter from Liang's crush in which he rejected her proposal, and they made fun of her in front of the whole class. This enraged Liang, leading her to slap one of the bully girls. Jiawei comments that Liang died because of bullying, and Kwai suggests it's revenge by the evil spirit. Jiawei inquires about the third girl named Shen, and asks where she is now. Kwai suggests they need to leave the place first, expressing he doesn't care if the story becomes popular or not, and he doesn't want to make money from it. Hearing this, Shui becomes angry that they want to profit from the situation and decides to leave. In a flashback, it is revealed that Lian was angry with Shui because she believed Shui had given the letter to those girls, as only the two of them knew about its contents. Jiawei tries to explain to Shui that the purpose of making money from the story is for their future. He mentions they are getting married, but he has no savings, and this is an opportunity he wants to seize to secure their future. In a flashback, we again see those girls bullying Lian, seeking revenge for the slap. Shui witnesses their actions, but instead of intervening and helping Lian, she decides to leave the scene. Meanwhile, while editing the video, Jiawei is startled to see what appears to be the spirit of Lian in it. However, upon closer inspection, he finds no one in the footage. He then hears Shui crying in her room, so he rushes to check on her and helps her get up. Kwai arrives upon hearing the screams, and Jiawei asks him to look at her neck and calls for an ambulance. They take her to Master Shi, and Jiawei shows him Shui's neck and cheek. Master Shi asks him to move away and perform some religious actions, and asks her to open her eyes. Kwai and Jiawei notice that the scar is gone, and Jiawei thanks Master for his help. However, Master reveals that there is a curse that has followed her for some time, and it is very hard to break. Jiawei asks him what they should do now, to which Master advises them to find the source. They need to discover what this evil spirit desires, or else, no matter where she goes, it will always follow her. The next day, Jiawei gets Shen's address from Shui's school, but upon arriving there, he discovers that the family has moved away a long time ago. Kwai goes to find the piece of rope he threw into the lake, and Shui burns and destroys all of Leon's possessions. While returning, Shui encounters the girl who bumped into Kwai that night, and it turns out that she is Shen, the person Jiawei is looking for. In a flashback, we again see those girls bullying Leon, and Shen scratches her face to make her more ugly. Shen goes to Master Shi, who gives her a spell for her safety. Now, while she is leaving, Kwai encounters her and realizes that she is the same girl they are looking for. He asks Master about her, to which he tells him that she is just a believer, and she was last here when they were performing the rope ritual. Kwai follows her to her home and texts Jiawei about the location. Meanwhile, Shen hangs those spells in her home, and then we see that her mother is bedridden. Now, when Jiawei returns home, he finds Shui planning to go back to Taipei. He tells her that they found Shen, but Shui says she just wants to go back to Taipei with him now. Jiawei says 2 out of 3 people are already dead in this picture, so Shen may be next. Meanwhile, we see Lian's spirit in Shen's house, and she gets terrified hearing her mom calling her name. She comes upstairs to check, and suddenly her mom attacks her and tries to strangle her. However, to save herself, Shen attacks her mom with a hanger, and during this, Jiawei and the others also reach there and find her trembling in fear. Later, the police inform them that Shen's mother is still unstable, and they will arrange for someone to stay with Shen. Before leaving, Shui tries to talk to Shen, but Shen apologizes to her, saying she did not do it intentionally, and it was not her fault. Later, they visit the school with Master Shi to investigate the spot where Lian hanged herself, and Master asks the teacher, "Where is the rope on which Lian was hanging?" He says he remembers back then their family took it to the temple and burned it. Master Shi finds a piece of that rope still hanging there and says the curse is still around and has grown stronger these past 10 years, which is why terrifying things are still happening. He suggests they should perform the rope ritual tonight, to which the teacher says this is way more severe than he can imagine. He has to report this to the principal and requests him to keep it low-key if the ritual must be performed. Master Shi tells Jiawei that he needs all of them to be here when he is performing the ritual. Meanwhile, Shen gets terrified seeing Lian's spirit in her room, and when she tries to flee, Lian grabs her leg and pushes her back. Hearing her scream, the police officer rushes upstairs to investigate, only to discover Shen's lifeless body hanging. On the other hand, Jiawei finds Shui playing the guitar and singing a song, but then she begins crying. Jiawei says he didn't know she could play the guitar, to which she reveals that Lian taught her, and they wrote this song together. Jiawei says he never heard her talking about Lian before, and she confides that she's afraid everything will become real if she tells him. Just then, the lights in the house go off, and she informs him that the main switch is located in the basement. Now, as Jiawei goes to the basement, we see Lian's ghost standing downstairs, and suddenly he gets startled by her laughter. Perplexed, he goes downstairs to investigate, where he finds Shui's diary. As he reads it, a flashback unfolds, revealing that Shui harbored feelings for the same boy Lian liked. When Lian entrusted Shui with a CD containing her proposal to the boy, Shui surprisingly decides not to give it to him, and shockingly, it turns out that the boy in question was Jiawei himself. Later, when Lian questions Shui about whether she handed the CD to Jiawei, Shui deceives her, claiming she delivered the CD, and it is also revealed that the letter was penned by none other than Shui. On the gala night, Lian observes Shui and Jiawei together, and this heartbreaking sight leads her to hang herself. Returning to the present, Jiawei hears someone crying in the basement, and assuming it to be Shui, he starts searching for her. He finds her sitting in a corner and asks her what she is doing down here, but shockingly, she transforms into Lian and starts laughing and repeatedly bangs her head on the wall. However, she transforms back into Shui, and Jiawei attempts to calm her down. He promptly takes her to the temple, where Master Shi conducts a ritual employing the rope. Master Shi cautions them against leaving the enchantment, and when Kwai questions why they don't simply burn the rope, Master Shi explains that burning it would only provide a temporary halt to the malevolent spirit. The curse would then strengthen, making it more challenging to break later. Instead, they can utilize the rope to draw the spirit, and they can talk to her peacefully to resolve the resentment. After a while, Lian's spirit arrives there and takes control of Shui's body. She gets up and tries to step out of the enchantment, but Master uses his powers and stops her. Suddenly, Shui opens her eyes, and Master urges Lian to express her grievances, promising to seek justice from God. Lian begins crying and collapses, and all the light sources in the temple go off, causing darkness there. Jiawei turns on his phone's flashlight and finds Shui unconscious, and Master, who is a bit scared, instructs them to stay inside. Suddenly, Shui's body is dragged away, prompting Jiawei to chase after her, but she vanishes. Lian then appears behind Master, tossing him aside, and begins dragging him away. Jiawei attempts to intervene, and Master directs Kuai to quickly burn the rope. Kuai grabs the rope, but Lian appears in front of him, strangles him, and throws him away, rendering him unconscious. Jiawei then witnesses Shui hanging herself and is urged by Master to burn the rope. As he locates the rope, he sees Lian strangling Shui. Jiawei throws the rope into the fire and observes Lian screaming in pain. In a moment of profound agony, Shui apologizes to Lian, attributing the blame to herself. Lian's screams intensify before she succumbs to the burning, and Shui collapses to the floor. Later, they throw Lian's belongings into the water and complete the rope ritual. Several days later, Jiawei brings Shui back from the hospital. On their journey back to Taipei, he suggests that she can rest during the 3-hour trip, but Shui declines, claiming she has had enough sleep already. Instead, she gazes at herself in a compact mirror and smiles, and we see Shui's reflection on Car's window, transformed into that of Lian. It becomes evident that Lian has taken control of Shui's body, achieving her desire to reunite with Jiawei. Thanks for facing the frights with us. If you survived this video, drop a like, summon that subscribe button, and brace yourself for more horror. Until next time, stay spooked.